Hello again, my name is David Watts, and I have with me today Tisha Jefferson. She is the Worldwide Segment Manager for high-end and blade servers. How you doing, Tisha?
How you doing, David?
So today we're going to be talking about the ThinkSystem SR850. This is our new 2U 4-socket server. So Tisha, tell us about the server. Who's the target audience for this sort of machine?
So this server is targeted for customers looking for performance in terms of cost. You know, this is for customers looking for the reliability that they used to get on the E7 processors. Now you can actually get to the new scalable processors. You can actually get that reliability in this server now. So customers who previously were looking for 4 sockets and high reliability now can get that in a 2U socket. So you can do a lot of consolidation, virtualization in this server. And
this machine it's a 4-socket system and has a large memory capacity too, with up to 48 DIMMs. We'll show you those in a moment. So really quite a high performance, high capacity system.
Definitely.
Yeah. So let's have a look at the front of the system and show you what the drive bays are and so on. So on the side here, we have space for up to 16 2.5-inch hot swap drive bays. The server supports SAS or SATA hot swap drives, or alternatively, you can have what we call an AnyBay backplane, which allows SAS, SATA, or NVMe drives. NVMe is great for high-performance storage with the lowest possible latency because they're PCIe connected drives. So 16 drives, 8 of which can be NVMe. Tisha, on the side here, what are the connectors and the buttons there?
So on this side, we have 2 USB ports. It can either be 2 USB 3 or a USB 3 and a USB 2 port.
Actually, I think it's 2 USB 2s, right?
Oh, yes, sorry. Yes, 2
yeah.
USB 2s.
Yep. So, and one of those USB 2s is the port for xClarity controller management, right?
Yes, yes. Where you can plug in actually now and control your server via a tablet.
Right. So the idea is that you can tether with it with the your phone cable or your tablet cable into the USB port, and then you can use the xClarity Administrator app on that device to locally manage the system.
Correct.
Yeah. So that's a great new feature for the whole ThinkSystem line. Yeah. What else is there?
So actually we also have the operator panel here, which is for the power, the networking activity, also for locating. There's a lot of LED information you can get from this one. That's the system status.
Yeah. So if you're you've got the system in a rack and you need to identify a particular server, you can remotely activate that ID button, or you can press it locally, and then both the LED, the blue LED on the front and on the rear of the server will light up, allow you to physically identify which system you're trying to manage.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Also available on this system is a pull-out panel, right?
Yes, it is. So that's an optional panel that gives you a lot more information about your server. It's kind of like we've had before in some of our systems, but again, it gives you the information that you may not be able to get from just the LED panel.
Yes, so it has a pull-out little LCD display with some buttons allows you to get more information.
Correct.
Diagnostic information. Yeah.
Yes.
Very good. All right. So that's the front of the server. Let's spin that around and have a look at the components on the back. So you can see here on my side all the slots. There are a total of 11 PCIe slots.
Yes.
They're all the regular PCIe slots you see here. They're all PCIe 3.0. They're all accessible when you have 2 processors installed. This system supports 2 or 4. Those are the 2 combinations. So if you have just 2 processors, you still get access to all of the slots in the system.
Right.
Yep. The 11 slots includes an M.2 adapter slot, and we'll tell you about that too in a moment. That's the new OS boot offering that we have for the system. Tisha, on that side, the power supplies?
Oh, so on the power supplies, we have 2 power supplies, and they're 750, 1100, and 1600 watt power supplies. Again, and that's very common across our full portfolio. Power supplies.
Yeah, so it means that if you're a distributor or a partner, you can stock these parts knowing that they're going to be compatible with the full range of ThinkSystem servers.
Yes.
Yeah. And the ports along the bottom?
So on the ports on the bottom, we have the serial port, the video port. We actually have the management too. I'm sorry, missed that one. That was down on this end here. And then we also have the ID port here, and we had 2 other communication ports, and the ID LED there.
Yeah. Okay. And also this network connector here. This is the LOM adapters, right?
Yes.
Yep. Can you describe the functionality of those?
So we have the new LOM adapters, and actually we have a lot of options in terms of our LOM adapter. So you actually have 6 options there. You have the RJ45, you actually have the SFP, adapter there. And you also have in terms of dual and quad ports on that.
Yeah, so a variety of different choices for network connectivity as a standard LOM function. And that also includes the NCSI capability, which means that you can use these ports to connect to the X-Clarity controller, the systems management processor, in addition to traditional Ethernet traffic. So it's a dual function there with NCSI. These adapters support that. Let's open the server up, shall we?
Let's do that. You can see the processor here on the top. They're the two.
Yep. So these are actually processors 3 and 4, and they're installed on a mezzanine tray, the processor and memory expansion tray, as it's officially called. So this mezzanine board sits on top of the other two processors, which are actually underneath. So we easily remove that. So the first step is to remove the top power supply.
That's right. Make sure it's pulled out.
Pull out, and then lift this tray up, and then it easily lifts out like so. Of course, you do this with the power off, right?
Yes, you definitely do it with the power off.
So I'm going to put that over there.
Get this out of the way.
So you can see, bring it a bit closer there, let me point out. So we have 4 processors. Each processor has 12 memory DIMMs.
Yes.
Now, in terms of capacity, what does that mean?
So that actually gives you up to 3 terabytes of memory inside the server.
Yep. So if you want to have, if you want to use the 64 gig DIMMs, LR DIMMs, for example, that would get it up to a total of 3 terabytes of memory. If you want to use the 32 gig RDIMMs that we have available, that's 1.5.
1.5, yes.
So quite a significant amount of memory capacity in these systems. The processors are the Intel Xeon Scalable family processors, and they go all the way up to...
They go up to 165 watts and up to 28 cores.
Yep. So these are the platinum.
These are
platinum family.
Yeah, they
right?
support they support actually the Gold and the Platinum family, but the top level is the Platinum family.
And that's up to 165.
160. We support up to 165 on this server.
Yeah. All right. So let's look at the other components here. These things at the front. These are the hot swap fans. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hot swap fans. The orange symbol, if you're familiar with System X servers, the orange means that they are hot swap. Removable while the system is operational. So this is N+1 redundant.
Yes.
Fans. Let me show here at the front here we have, this is where the backplanes for the storage, the 2.5-inch hot swap drives go. So what we have here, this backplane here is a 2.5 8-bay SAS SATA backplane. I also have an NVMe backplane, and it would actually go in the place of that one. It's back to front. And the second backplane would go here. And you can see here that unlike the SAS SATA backplane, the NVMe backplane has both SAS and SATA ports and 4 NVMe ports.
Yes.
So we call these bays our any bay.
Any bay.
Any bay meaning that the drives that go into this backplane can be either SAS or SATA or NVMe, right?
Right. So it's for customers who actually may not be sure what they're going to do, and it allows them to make their changes in the future. Yeah.
Yeah. So this server supports up to supports 2 of these backplanes, these any bay backplanes. Mm-hmm. So you can have up to 8 NVMe drives.
Yes.
Or if you don't want to go to NVMe just yet, you could have up to 16 SAS or SATA. And the way the connectivity works is, as I pointed out, you've got the 2 SAS SATA connectors here, and they route through the cabling to the back of the server to a standard SAS SATA RAID controller like the one we have here. And the NVMe ports go to this NVMe switch adapter. And that will plug into one of the PCIe slots too. And then the ports route from the adapter through to the drive base, to the backplanes at the front. Now, if you have the mezzanine tray, the expansion tray on top, then 2 of the ports will come from these NVMe ports here that come from the processors 3 and 4. So that's how that connectivity works there. Now, also, let me spin this around a little bit. What we also have at the back, next to the slots, is this M.2 adapter here. So as I mentioned at the beginning, M.2 is a storage technology. We have cards that are available in formats of 32 gig or 128 gig. And these the adapter that is installed here, this is a Lenovo patented design, in fact.
Correct.
This adapter here that we have installed is a dual M.2 adapter. That means it can have two M.2 cards, one installed either side, and it can be configured in UEFI as RAID 1 or RAID 0, or just as JBOD if you wish. But the RAID 1 means higher reliability,
right.
that even if one of those cards fails, then the system can still access and function from those devices.
Right.
And you would put on those cards, your operating system or your hypervisor. You might even want to use it for diagnostic tools, deployment tools, that sort of thing. So that is accessible as a device. And what I have here is the single version, the single adapter, and it has in fact the 32 gig M.2 card is already installed in it. So you can see it's only got one connector on this one, whereas the one installed has got two. So there are choices here if you want to have a lower cost single drive, single adapter, or the dual adapter. So I point out too that there's the RAID card here. The server supports a variety of RAID adapters for internal storage and also for external storage as well, right. And a variety of network adapters and fiber channel adapters as well, and SAS HBAs. Now the riser cards, tell us about those.
So the riser cards, we actually have several options with those. Let me take a look. This actually is our LOM one, ML2. I'm sorry, our ML2 one. And our by 16 one. So we have three options on this, but this is just the one we have in the system now.
So this particular riser card has space for two adapters, but there are other riser cards that have three. So the configuration choice is quite flexible there. I would point out that there's a USB port here that we're showing here on this server. This is a pre-production system. That USB port won't exist in the final system, so in the production level
right.
systems. So you don't get that, sorry. Okay, so I think that's about it. Tisha, any more final comments?
No, I think that's it.
All right, very good. Well, so this is the ThinkSystem SR850. This is our new 2U 4-socket system that supports 4 processors and 48 DIMMs. Tisha, thanks very much for that.
Thank you, David.
Hope you found the video useful, and we will see you later. Bye.